Okay, be honest. How much could you read in a 24-hour time period? Because today I'm about to test my limits, and I genuinely don't know if this is going to go well. Besties, what's up? My name is Meg. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, like I said, we're doing a 24-hour reading challenge. Now, I'm gonna preface this and say it is not 24 hours consecutively. No. I like my sleep. We're gonna keep my sleep. Therefore, we are doing this across 3 days, total of 8 hours each day. However, we are going to see how many books we can read in this 24-hour time period. We have my iPad down here. We have the timer that is going to be there. I have 2 reads currently on my Kindle that I am part of the way through. I am currently partway through the Housemaid is Watching, and then we are partway through Dungeon Crawler Carl. And so I was going to knock out the book that is easily probably the fastest right now, and that would be The Housemaid is Watching. Now, I've listened to both The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret, and then I read the novella. I want to say we're like 25% of the way through The Housemaid is Watching. Then I think I'm also about 25% of the way through Dungeon Crawler Carl. So we're gonna set up ambiance. We have our candle going, we have caffeine, we have water. Here are our rules. 1, the timer must be going all while I am reading. It will be paused when I need to take a break. 2, it will also be paused when I am making updates to you. And then lastly, it will be paused when we are picking out our next read, if we choose to pick out a physical book from our physical TBR. So with that all being said, let's get right into reading. Okay, so we are all set up. As I'm reading, I'm finding more and more things about The Housemaid is Watching that's kind of unnerving, not gonna lie. We are at 36%. Stuff is happening for the 3rd book of The Housemaid is Watching that's kind of really weird, not gonna lie. Like something is definitely going on and I don't know what, and it's really starting to kind of irritate me that I don't know what's going to happen. So far the only Freida Mcfadden books that I have read so far have been from The Housemaid. We are going to continue with our reading and everything. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading. So we are now at 68% of the way through The Housemaid is Watching. Our timer says that we are at 21 hours and 27 minutes exactly on the dot. Wow, I'm so good at pausing. We're on chapter 53 of The Housemaid is Watching. Currently, we are going through how finally like a murder's happened and who's being, you know, your standard mystery thriller. However, I do feel like that it took a little bit longer for the person to die in this one. And I feel like that's awful to say, but I genuinely do believe that like we got through like a good majority of the book before like the person was even like murdered. I don't know if it was to like build a case up against like why we should suspect this person, but I don't know. We're enjoying everything about this book. Okay guys, so we finished The Housemaid is Watching. I guess I like miscalculated the fact that where I was at in the book actually wasn't as far along as what I thought. So that was a miscalculation on my end. However, we are now at 20 hours, 13 minutes, and 8 seconds. And Now I'm at 38% of the way through Dungeon Crawler Carl. So we're kind of thinking that we might try to finish that today. I essentially want to read as much as I possibly can. And right now I'm really enjoying where I'm sitting. So yeah, I think we are going to try and finish Dungeon Crawler Carl. We're gonna just get right on into it. Let's go. We officially made it to 52% of the way through Dungeon Crawler Carl, and we are officially at 19 hours on the dot. What Dungeon Crawler Carl is. Dungeon Crawler Carl is a place, a dystopia, where the entirety of Earth, from all the buildings you can possibly imagine, have been quickly collapsed down into the earth, into an 18-level labyrinth that is now being broadcasted all over the galaxy. Now, this is being broadcasted to other alien places and so on and so forth. Anyways, it's a show essentially, and you have to fight in order to win. And essentially, you winning is you living with your life. But as of right now, I just made it through part 1. We just made it to part 2. I'm really enjoying it. I love Dungeon Crawler Carl for the fact of I love Matt Dinniman's humor and the way he goes about each one of the books. It's crazy. It's literally like, I hate to say it, but it's literally like a clusterfuck of stuff that happens all after once. You are constantly on the fight for survival, on the run, on everything. And to Carl, this is anything but a game. He also has his faithful companion, a Persian cat, I believe she is, and her name is Princess Donut. I love Princess Donut. Now, she is the most probably hilarious character that there is. I mean, she's at the point where she's a talking cat. And just the things that come out of her mouth are just very hilarious to even think that, like, oh, maybe a cat does think that way. I don't know. Anyways, right now we are having such a blast with this. I just wanted to give you a little update because I can definitely see this being a higher rating of a book. I don't necessarily think that it's 5 stars, but it's definitely up there. It's had me laughing at points. It's got so much potential for this series, and I'm so excited to looking forward to reading each one of these books. I don't necessarily think that I could finish Dungeon Crawler Carl today, but it could be a good possibility. So we have about 58 minutes till we're done for today. I plan to read the next 3 days, 8 hours. I'm really enjoying Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm gonna finish reading for the day, give you an update of what reading we got to. Okay, so we are done for the night. Essentially, it's now 5 o'clock basically, so we have been reading for the last 8 hours. We're at 74%, so we're basically 75% of the way through Dungeon Crawler Carl. Things are just now starting to get like very interesting, and you're kind of like starting to see a little bit behind the scenes of said game show, and it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying it a lot. I'm having a lot of fun with the humor that's being presented in the book, and if you want something that is, granted, it is a fantasy, it's a dystopian fantasy, it is a little difficult to understand, especially when like they're talking about creatures that you have no idea what they are. It's a little bit confusing. We made it to 16:57:31 for our timer. So I will see you tomorrow for session 2 of our 24-hour reading challenge. Good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome. We are officially going to start back up the clock today. We ended at 16:57:31. We are at about 75% of the way through, so we're going to try to finish Dungeon Crawler Carl, and then we are going to go ahead and we might pick up a physical book off of our TBR. We're gonna get to reading. Let's get to it. I do have Nugget in my lap. She says hello. We are currently 97% of the way through Dungeon Crawler Carl. We have 14 hours and 56 and a half minutes left of our timer. I'm really enjoying Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think that what's going on right now is so super fun. It's so super cute. They just got another addition to their party. This addition is actually hilarious. Like, it keeps messing with Donut and I freaking love it. I love it. It's so cute. It's so cute. Anyways, so that's what we have going on. We're not quite sure yet what we're gonna read next. I'm kind of wanting a fantasy, but I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, if this goes into 4 days of reading, I'll be a little upset, not gonna lie. Anyways, I'm going to keep reading. I don't think I'll update you until I'm fully done with Dungeon Crawler Carl, and then we'll pick out our next book. Okay, lovelies. So we literally just finished Dungeon Crawler Carl. I want to take a short little break just to kind of stand up, stretch, everything like that, maybe fill up my water. We also ended on 14 hours, 42 minutes, and 53 seconds. That's where our timer is at as of right now. I'm gonna take my break and then we'll be back. We have indeed decided what book we are going to read, and it's a book off of our physical TBR because, as you know, we are trying to dwindle down our physical TBR because it is extremely big. I cannot fathom how many books are on my physical TBR, and it just keeps growing. Honestly, I figure that for a quick easy read, because it's short, that we are going to read Dreadful by Caitlyn Rozakis. I think that's how you say her name. Before I tell you why I bought this book, I'm gonna read you the synopsis. It's bad enough waking up in a half-destroyed evil wizard's workshop with no eyebrows, no memories, and no idea how long you have before the dread lord whomever shows up to murder you horribly and then turn your skull into a goblet or something. It's a lot worse when you realize that dread lord whomever is you. Gav isn't sure how he ended up in a castle full of goblins or why he has a princess locked in a cell. All he can do is play along with his own evil plan in hopes of getting his memories back before he gets himself killed. But as he realizes that nothing, from the incredibly tasteless cloak adorned with flames to the princess, is quite what it seems, Gav must face up to all the things the dread Lord Gavrex has done, and he'll have to answer the hardest question of all: who does he want to be? Now, honestly, it sounds funny because, and the reason I say that, a Barnes & Noble member had actually recommended this book to me. They asked me if I liked Assistant to the Villain, and I said yes, and she said that this book has the same amount of humor in it. And I really loved and adored Assistant to the Villain, so I think that reading this will be great. I am really super excited, and also, like, look at how pretty the edges are. So let's get back to reading. Okay, so we are only 30 pages in to Dreadful. Just finished up the first chapter, and honestly this does feel a lot like Assistant to the Villain. I am liking it so far. It is a fun read so far. I'm going to continue on and I will update you as I see fit. But we're that far of the way through the book. What are my initial thoughts? My initial thoughts are it, however, is not, as of right now, I'm not sure how I'm going to like this. I really don't. So far, we're enjoying it. We don't have too much of thoughts. I'm enjoying the internal banter that our main character, Gab, goes through. I think that it's actually very humorous, and I enjoy it. It's essentially a evil wizard who has lost his memories, who's now attempting to be good. The last line of this chapter was, well, that would shake things up a bit. Why no one told him being good would be so easy. And I think that that line in general is just hilarious. Bonjour, good day, how is your family? Okay, I'm sorry, that was cringe. I meant to say hello, but I was like, ooh, how cute would it be to say bonjour? And then the song proceeded from there on autopilot. I really didn't appreciate autopilot kicking in. It is, once again, another day. We are at 13 hours and 8 minutes. And we were reading Dreadful by Caitlyn Rozakis. We're on page 88. So we have 259 pages left for us to go. So I think that we are going to kick our butt into gear. So we are officially about halfway through the book. We are at 11 hours, 35 minutes, and 35 seconds. So far, I'm enjoying the book to a certain extent. So with the fact that our main character, Gavrix, forgets his memories, he feels as though he has become a totally different person. Therefore, he is thinking of himself almost as like a whole other person. He is going about in a way where he's slightly performing, feels like he doesn't fully know, that some people can tell that he's not himself and that he doesn't remember anything. Oldest you should be for reading Dreadful would be at least 16 to 17. Anything below that I feel is wrong because there is quite a bit of swearing and things like that. So it's a very fun read though. We are enjoying. Okay, so we are now 9 hours, 37 minutes, and 31 seconds. We are that far of the way through the book and we only have 58 pages left for us to go. I'm liking this book. I think that it's definitely a fun read. If you're looking for something that's more lighthearted and isn't very high stakes, then this is definitely the book for you. It's just an easy, simple read. Our remaining time is 8 hours, 36 minutes, and 49 seconds. We have just finished the book Dreadful. Like I said, this was a little fun read. If you're looking for like a fun little standalone fantasy, then this would be a good book to pick up. I thought that it did well on how it made the differences between like, oh, like what good and evil are and like who you choose to be and how you choose to present yourself to others. So that's what Dreadful was. was. It was a cute little read, I guess. Okay, hello and good morning. So yesterday, essentially almost the entire area that I'm in, over like 50,000 people said that Amazon wasn't working, and lo and behold, Amazon was not working from like 1 in the afternoon till around 7 last night. So I finally was able to download Dungeon Crawler Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is book number 2, and we have approximately 8.5 hours that we need to read. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're officially 25% of the way through Carl's Doomsday Scenario, and we have 6 hours, 41 minutes, and 31 seconds left on the timer. I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, so we officially are at about 45 to 50% of the way through Carl's Doomsday Scenario. Now we only have about 5 hours left. It says that we have about 4 hours and 15 minutes left in the book, which is really exciting. I'm loving Dungeon Crawler Carl. Like, literally loving. I'm trying to figure out if like each book only contains like one floor, or if like it contains multiple floors in said books. I know that some of the books get like obviously like chunkier as they go on, but I'm not too sure. Anyways, we're on chapter 14 of Carl's Doomsday Scenario, and we're having so much fun. So much fun. Also, Mongo, you know if you know, it's been thunderstorming and Nugget has not left my side. Hello, boo-boo. As you can see, she is very, very comfortable. I'm gonna get back to reading. So we only have about 3.5 hours left of our timer, and I think we only have like 3 hours and like 15 minutes left of Carl's Doomsday Scenario. So we are going to finish that up right away. So we are now at 75% of the way through Carl's Doomsday Scenario, and it says we have about an hour and 55 minutes left on the clock. So we're gonna keep reading. Okay, hi, hello. So we have officially finished. I enjoyed it so much. This book, the first book follows the first 2 floors of the dungeon. This book primarily just follows the 3rd floor of the dungeon. Princess Donut and Carl are obviously going about their ways. The first 2 levels of the floor are all about training. Now this one is all about building up your skills. Now I particularly loved Carl and Donut. You can obviously tell that Donut is really starting to grow and mature, and they go on a couple quests. They do a couple things, like everything is great. I love it. I'm so super stoked to read Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, which is the 3rd book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I think a really good series. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the humor. I'm loving the aspect of it. I'm loving everything that is given to us in these books. Hi besties! So, okay, this is the next day that I finished it. I read this morning and finished the last like 3 hours that we had, and then I went and I obviously got ready for the day. However, I just realized that I never did like a recap, so let's do a recap. In totality, we were able to read a total of 4 books during this 24-hour reading challenge, where it was timed. Now, in this timed session, we finished The Housemaid is Watching, so I gave this book 3 stars. This ended up being the lowest, discluding the novella. This ended up being the lowest book within the Housemaid series. I definitely enjoyed The Housemaid's Secret, I think just a bit more than I preferred anything else, so we did give this book 3 stars, and I really enjoyed it. Next book that we finished I had already been about like 25% of the way through, but we finished Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first book in the series, and I loved this book. I gave it 4 stars. I thought that it was really well written, everything like that. I enjoyed it so much. Couldn't wait to pick up the next one. Now, after Dungeon Crawler Carl, I picked up Dreadful, and this was easy. In a way, it was somewhat fun, but it really wasn't my favorite book I've read. I originally gave it 3 stars. However, I am thinking about possibly lowering it to like a 2.5 star. Really didn't care for the ending too much. I didn't really care for it. I thought that it was okay. And lastly, the book we've started and finished was Carl's Doomsday Scenario, and I gave this book also 4 stars. I thought that this was well written. This floor, you are brought up against bosses. They bring in quests that you can do and follow, and I really enjoyed this, and I honestly cannot wait to read what else the Dungeon Crawler world has in store for us. I'm really super excited to pick up the next book. I don't quite know for sure what to really make of it, but I enjoyed it so much, and I honestly cannot wait. Now, that is all for today's video of us doing a 24-hour challenge. I know in the past that we have read more books, but I wanted to read books that were off of my physical TBR, so I wanted to do that. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Do all of the YouTube things you know how to do, and I will see you in a bit. Bye!